Dallas, Texas. Hi, Jana. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to talk to you today.
You too. What's up?
Okay, let me give you some quick background information. Me and my husband got married in January, and we've got about $55,000 of student loans we're working on. We're working the plan really intensely. My husband would love to start doing some things to earn us extra income on top of the jobs that we're doing, like day trading or looking into investment properties. And I know that you would say to pay off your debt first, and I've explained that to him, and he knows that's the Dave Ramsey way. So I'm just trying to reconcile what he wants, which is to become a millionaire and not be stuck like in the middle class rut.
How old is he?
He's 24.
Okay.
And very ambitious.
Yeah. Your husband has the same disease that I had. And it is a good disease and a bad disease, both. Okay? He's very smart, and he's very ambitious. I was too when I was 24. And by the time I was 26, I had $4 million worth of real estate starting from nothing. And over $1 million net worth, I became a millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was that I did it poorly with way too much debt. And I spent the next 2.5 years of my life losing everything I owned. I was being sued, I was being foreclosed on, and finally I was bankrupt with a brand new baby and a marriage hanging on by a thread. And so the disease he suffers from in the midst of his intellect and his ambition, they combine to make him vulnerable to get-rich-quick schemes. And you and I need to beg him to be the tortoise and not be the hare. That's very difficult for him because the tortoise is slow and the tortoise is ugly. And he's used to being fast and pretty. And the hare loses the race every time I read the book. You remember the story, right?
Yes, sir.
And the Bible says he who hastens to be rich will not go unpunished. I know, I've been to that woodshed, and you don't want to go to that woodshed with your bride husband. It will take him places he does not want to go. So please hear the wisdom that comes from the pain of experience, and that is that 78% of the day traders lose money. That's all of them. It is a really dumb idea. You are not going to make money. You are going to lose money. But it takes a certain amount of arrogance to even play. And the arrogance comes from being bright and being ambitious and combining in a toxic way. I was prone to virtually any methodology that would allow me to become wealthy that was legal, to try any of it. If there had been day trading then, I would have done it. I have been down these roads. And then the second time I became wealthy after losing everything, I did it slowly, steadily, with no debt. I was in no hurry. And many years later, that wealth has expanded exponentially as a result. And that's called God's blessings. But the good news is you have a very bright young man that's not afraid of work. The bad news is he's always looking for a shortcut. And there is no shortcut to any place that's worth going.
I don't think he's necessarily looking for the easiest way out.
I do.
Okay. Well, he's being really encouraged by his dad. His dad is your age, and his dad's worked very hard all his life and doesn't really have anything saved up, and so I think a lot of it.
So probably we don't want to use his plan.
Right.
I want to be encouraged by him to do good things and big things and smart things, but I don't know that I need his plan. Because his plan his dad has done what I'm talking about. His dad has tried every little get-rich-quick thing. He's joined every pyramid scheme and multi-level thing that's come along in the years. He's tried every way for an easy buck. And you just can't go there. So I'm going to beg your husband to slow down just a little bit and to do something that doesn't have any sex appeal to it, that is kind of boring and becomes what? Go get the book The Millionaire Next Door. It's an old book by Dr. Thomas Stanley. In that book, he found that the typical millionaire owns something really exciting like a dry cleaners. And they work like 60 hours a week pressing people's clothes for 10 years. And they become a multimillionaire or a millionaire. Or they own a hardware store or a local plumbing company. Or this is the typical millionaire in America today. They're not stockbrokers. They're not real estate traders. And this is where I want him to go. And boy, you've got a good man there. You've got a good man there. And he needs to be encouraged to be a little more boring in his pursuit of wealth. And be willing to not look for any kind of a shortcut, because he's not smarter than everybody else. 78% of the day traders lose money. It's a scam. And let me just tell you, everybody who did nothing down real estate investing, almost every one of them are in bankruptcy right now. It was a disaster for them. It was a disaster because they didn't have any equity, they didn't have any liquidity. And they and then the market went down on them, and boom, they're hammered. And so you just don't want to go there. Broke people don't need to buy and sell real estate. You make you broker. That's why they call them real estate brokers. Ryan is in Los Angeles. Hey, Ryan, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave, how are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
First off, I'm a mortgage loan officer in LA area, and I always teach everyone that they need to listen to your show because I sell debt for a living, but I hate debt, so it's a good combination to have, I think.
Thank you.
My question for you is: right now, I am in the process of just completely going at our debt and getting tooth and nail getting out of debt. Mm-hmm. And my wife and I have our first daughter on the way in about 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
And thank you. And we are getting everything straightened out, including when she was getting out of high school, she had a lot of debt that was being held by her father, who passed away. Now that her father passed away, was handling all that, it's now fallen on her, and it's all in collection and judgment to this point. About $50,000, but we can negotiate it down to probably $20,000. She has an inheritance that was being held by her older brother, my brother-in-law, and in a time deposit. Now, he's managing it and keeping it safe, but now that we're telling him that we want to get everything cleaned up financially, he says that he would rather die than let that money be used beyond an emergency such as losing a job or something like that.
Why does he have the right to hold the money?
Because when she was young, she's really, really not good with finances until we got together. So I'm trying to find a way to convince him to let
Why
it go.
does he have the right to hold the money? Is it in his name?
She gave it to him to hold.
Oh, and she has no control.
She has no control at this point.
Okay.
So he's the trustee or something like that, but she doesn't have any way of getting it from him unless.
How long have you been married?
About 2 years now.
Okay. I think you need to sit down with him and have a cup of coffee and say, this is the plan we're going to lay out. We've already been working this plan to get out of debt. We're going to lay this plan out. I'm going to come back in 6 months and show you that we've executed that plan. If at that time you don't release the money, be prepared for a lawsuit. I'm going to show you that it is smart and good for your sister to release this money because we're in control and we're executing a plan. If I can show you that and you're not willing to release the money, be prepared for me to sue you into, for the rest of your life, I'm going to put you in the basement and hit you with a stick.